Still with us to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world are Arise News analyst Mr. Daisha Wale and Arise anchor Vimbai Mutiniri-Ekpayong.
You're getting into the flow of this.
I mean, it's fun to just sit back and, listen.
Right?
To this rich analysis. Please.
Well, I know Mr. Shobwell is eager to get into it. So let's get straight to This Day newspaper so that we use all of our precious time on analysis. This Day newspaper traditionally is where we begin our newspaper review. Now, This Day is leading with the statement from former President of the Senate, that's Senator David Mark, who is saying it's time for Tinubu to review Nigeria's security architecture. So he says Plateau massacre is a wake-up call. Muftuang rallies North Central governors to advance peace, unity for regional development. Sule Alia Bago insists it's act of terrorism. SMBLF, that's the South and Middle Belt Forum, alleges terror siege, and they write to Tinubu. President must prioritize security. That's a charge from the NBA. So Plateau massacre still leading the conversation, but now the conversation is looking at how do we move forward in terms of restructuring our security architecture. Mr. Shobwale, your thoughts on this?
Actually, it's hidden in that story. It's one very disturbing news. Allegation made by the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum is that government is aware that it is Fulani people doing the havoc and killing people, but somehow it is being, since the last presidency, being stigmatized as farmers harassment clash. It is in their statement there. It's not something that is hidden. And they have even said there that the government should scrap all internally displaced people's camps, because they said the people are put in the camps while security forces occupy their traditional territories. Do you see the connection between the establishment of the internally displaced people and security forces occupying their villages and lands? They say no, they want their villages and lands secured. They don't want to live perpetually in internally displaced that issue and the accusation of Fulani domination, and they say it's not only limited to this place. That it is. They mention the utterances of the former governor of Kaduna and I think governor of another place, Bauchi. These are issues that government should look into. The security forces should look into. They are dangerous topics in terms of ethnicity and religious animosity. The two do not make for political stability and peace. You get me? So government should look at it.
And it also seems the solutions seem to be available, or at least pieces of solutions are available from the grassroots, because the more statements we see from these various groups, the more we see, they know what's happening. They know the root cause.
Those should be inputs for government to know what to do. And then arrest the insecurity and the killing of people. I wish them good luck in doing that as quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible.
Yes.
That's right. Now, still speedily, let's move on to Daily Trust. Daily Trust, of course, leading with this is still the biggest story in terms of security of Nigeria. Identify root cause of Plateau killings for lasting peace. That's North Central governors to the federal government. And then, of course, we've already touched on the 37 billion naira fraud from ex-minister Sadiya as she faces the EFCC today. Now, I'd like to look at the federal government suspending accreditation of degree certificates from the Republic of Benin and Togo. So, of course, this is coming after an investigative report that was done by Umar Audu. And what he was able to do when he went undercover is that he was able to bag a degree, Bachelor of Science in Mass Communication certificate within 6 weeks from a university in Cotonou. Also, complicit to this is the fact that he was able to prove in his passport that he was being stamped in and out of the country, going to school for the duration of what would have been the duration of his program. And he was also able to forge a 1 year of NYSC service. So following that, of course, the government has suspended accreditation of degree certificates from Benin and from Togo, and has also banned 18 foreign universities operating in Nigeria who who have been tagged degree mills. They are dishing out fake degrees.
Yes.
So good to see speedy intervention following a great journalistic piece of work.
Well, you see, that's good investigative journalism. There, it means there must be a very refined, sophisticated fraud network involved in that. You see, it's not only getting the degree in weeks, but even having access in and out in the customs. Do you get me? So it is a fraud network. It's work for the Department of DSS, for and the secure, even the National Security Advisor should be interested, because this is international fraud now. It's an international syndication filtering in and affecting the quality of our own education. But then I wonder at how they would have done that, because Benin is francophone now. They speak French there. So what language did they get that degree in 6 weeks? You can't speak French and get a degree in 6 weeks. There's something fraudulently suspicious or suspiciously fraudulent in that. Yes, because it's francophone country. In what language did they write it? Because if they are Nigerians, they will speak English. How will they have acquired enough certificate of performance in French speaking to get a degree?
In 6 weeks.
Something is very suspicious there. So it is for the security agencies to look into. And for since you said they have suspended some universities, it means the Ministry of Education too is up and doing, because they must work together with customs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs to nip it in the bud. But it's a nice story, almost like fiction, except that it is on the ground.
All right, that's a story that's not so great. We're going to go to the Punch newspaper. The Punch today has got several insightful stories, but we're going to focus on the lead story from the Punch newspaper. NNPCL marketers clash over subsidy. Operators peg petrol at 1,200 naira per litre. So, of course, on the back of the falling naira rate, economists and oil marketers have agreed. They share a sentiment that the subsidy was not removed, it was merely reduced. Of course, that's because the current fuel price is between 617 naira to 660 naira, depending on where in the country you are, and the exchange rate has been fluctuating. So marketers are saying the real price of fuel currently should be at 1,200 naira, which is not reflective in what's happening. So, Mr. Shobowale, has the subsidy been removed? No. Is the subsidy gone, or is it reduced?
I'm not bothered about that. I'm bothered about the marketers. If you remember here, a long time ago, they said this thing will be 750. And I said, no, it's not impossible. It can never happen. You reach 750. And now they are saying 1,200. So if I must say my mind, I will tell you they don't have the interests of Nigerians at heart. So let's make it 2,000 if they like. You get me? It's what you can afford that you will use. If you can afford it, it's beyond you. But it is for government to intervene. To me, this is a free fall of the foreign exchange and, you see, a ballooning of prices. And if people don't have access to petrol, to move around, to do so many things, you put so many things in jeopardy. So this is for government to intervene. If they cannot control the marketers, then the marketers will ruin the economy for them. You get me? By creating, to me, it is false pricing. False pricing that lines the pockets of people and makes life difficult for Nigerians at large, especially those at the lower rung of the ladder. It is not acceptable, it is dangerous.
Okay, Mr. Shobowale, now very quickly before you go, let's touch on some international papers. Just one international paper. Let's head to the New York Times. The New York Times has got several stories, but I want to focus on this one that has really taken the world by storm, and that's concerning Harvard's first black president, who's also the second female president, Claudine Gay, who announced her resignation yesterday after accusations of plagiarism and, of course, what was called her insufficient response to anti-Semitism on campus. She was only president for 6 months, it seems like black women around the world just can't get a break, Mr. Shobole. That's how I see it.
I don't see it that way.
Okay.
You get me? I'm not an American, I'm a Nigerian. And I'm a lover of literature. I hate plagiarism in any mode or form. That's what they accuse her of. And then again, you see, she's a political scientist and she's quite brilliant. You get me? But you see, she has not shown intellectual maturity. Because when they asked her that question in the Senate or House of Representatives, she should have known what answer to give. She was evasive on anti-Semitism. She knows those who own their university. She's not a stranger. And she knows how she got there. You get me? It's because of the policy of the present administration on equality and inclusion. You get me? And diversity. She was not the best candidate for it, but she got it, even though she's black. You get me? But she should have known how to play that anti-Semitism card. She did not play it well. She left her political science faculty at home on that day. And then she's paying for it.
Do you think she's going to be a hero to some for it? You know, because at least she spoke her truth.
That's your own version of the truth.
You see, no, not the truth. I said,
you see, in talk of anti-Semitism, racism. Look, these are things that are emotional issues.
Of course.
That's right. She should know that. And she should know her own background. She should know, she should have been more diplomatic than the performance she gave there.
So you support her resignation?
She has to go because they will not let her breathe.
To go.
They will not let her breathe. Even donors say they will not put money in the place. And they own the university, literally, the Jews. I'm not saying what she did was wrong, but she should have studied her environment.
Read the room.
That's right. And be more tactical and diplomatic in the way she performed.
Oh, that was a tactical and diplomatic analysis. And she should have watched you so that maybe she wouldn't be in this mess. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Arise News analyst, Mr. Shobole, and thank you, Vimbai, for that wonderful analysis. We appreciate you both, as always. Thank you.
Appreciate me with money.
Yes. I'm hoping that the right people are listening.
No, I mean
that's
personal money. No personal money, Cynthia.
Okay. Well, whatever the case may be, thank you so much.